So, welcome to this short, or I don't know how long it's going to be really, little video upload for my YouTube channel on the astrology for the 2025. It's just that I do mind maps and everybody goes, well, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about there when you, or if I just send them the picture. So I just thought, right, we'll go through it briefly, and then you can ask me questions in the comments if you want to. So we're going to start here. So this year is the year that everything changes. So not to be dramatic, there's so many planets going into various and changing signs. So it is an amazing year just for that point alone, that all these quite slow moving planets are all changing. So we're going to be teaching new forms to the old symbols of the old symbols. So it is very much about changing the way we're looking at things. So as you know, Pluto went into Aquarius, and this is usually a 200-year cycle. And Pluto will be in Aquarius for 24 years now. So Pluto brings in a dynamic evolution, and also Aquarius is very much to do with, themes is AI. It's all to do with sort of, instead of the top down, which was what Capricorn was, it's now bottom up. Aquarius is very much about for the people. So with that, it will bring in dynamic evolution. So I've put oligarchs here off with their heads. And that really is like people from the top will have to really think about looking at how they work as a community, as a group. So communities, groups, all those sorts of local projects are all the ones that we need to be focusing on. This whole thing about, being over something, like a head of something, is really going to sort of die off. It's very much about what can I bring to the table, and everybody can bring something to, to this year. We need to adapt. So people that will find tricky are the people that just like the power, but they will have to adapt to this whole new form of energy. So there will be job structure changes, and yes, we will be seeing robots, AI. We've already got chat boxes, and we'll have digital versus industrial. So we had the industrial revolution, and now we've got the digital revolution. So this is Pluto and Aquarius. And yes, so this year we're very much about that. And then going on into July, we have Uranus entering Gemini. And Uranus has sort of like been in a sign that it doesn't really like, but Gemini it likes. So it's going into Gemini on July the 7th to November the 7th. It pops out for a bit, but comes back in again. And there's a really nice trine here, which actually is Aquarius with Pluto. And then we got Uranus, and we've got Gemini, and they're all air signs. So there's a lot of electrical, airy, information going on. So the themes for that particular part of the year, or that particular part of Uranus in Gemini, themes are enjoy it, Geminis. Geminis really like this time. Liberty, liberalization, no king, no queen. So no heads, no heads of state, no sort of bosses as such, or you can be a boss, but you just really have to work with your group. New inventions. So we're looking at drones, AI travel, the world, the language is going to change. Not languages per se, but looking at language and understanding how we can really restructure some of that, or re-identify some of that language. Nuclear power, which I don't know if we'll see what happens there. So July the 7th, we have new social media and challenge. So that's quite a powerful day around there when that comes into play. Then we have Aries going Neptune going into Aries, or Aries going into Neptune. And again, the last time that this sign was in that particular configuration was 1861, so 65, 165 years ago. So, and this will be right into this sign till 2039. So Aries rules ahead, very sort of very go-getty, very again, power to the people. Doesn't like the really protects the underdog. So you could be a soldier or warrior here for this particular theme. And the theme is heroic illusion. Neptune is very much about, yes, it pulls the veil. It's very dreamlike. So we do have to really think about how we perceive when we sort of get a, oh yeah, this seems really good. Really sort of sit with it for a bit and see, well, am I got any disillusion about this? Am I being, led up the wrong path on this one? So we can feel heroic, but it can be an illusion of an heroic. So it can be very pro sort of war, Mad Maxy like. So even though you think, oh yeah, I really want to like go out and be, and fight for that. I want to fight for the planet Earth. We can get quite warlike with it, and really that's not going to help the planet. So we can be heroic, but just watch where we're putting our energy on that one. July the 22nd, then we've got a sextile. So it's almost like where the planets come into this configuration, and it's like turning a light switch on. So we almost see what's occurring, what's going on. So in the psyche of the masculine, so it's really, we've sort of been in a feminine sort of phase, and now we're actually sort of moving much more into the masculine part. And we're not talking about male dominance. We're talking about balancing out the female aspect, which is, the female aspect is very much about creating. The male is about the will. So we think of things, but we really need the sort of the masculine energy to get that thing going. Otherwise, we're just always like manana. Think about it. And then we have good old Saturn. So Saturn is going into Neptune on May the 24th. And again, Neptune, which is the same as we talked about there. Is it real? Saturn and Neptune are sort of uneasy bed partners, but we can work with it. Saturn-like structure, Neptune is sort of a little bit dreamlike, so there is a bit of confrontation here. And the themes here are a collapse of a belief. We might believe something, and then all of a sudden we realise that wasn't necessarily true. And this is very much a year of, we had an idea what it was all going on, and now it's all sort of being unveiled, and we now start to question life. We've got these signs here, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, and these are the energies, especially if you've got a rising sign or a planet in these signs. This is going to really come up. I'm going to you question what's going on, a loss of faith. And it could be a spiritual faith, a religion. So it's not seen as a bad thing, but it's just like, okay, I put all my energy into that, and now do I need necessarily to put as much energy into it? It really does, this particular configuration really resonates with the Russian history and the Soviet Union. And again, we have AI. Yes. So this whole thing about fighting, fighting for my faith, it's, is it real? We make our own reality. So, yeah, so back to, the year, everything changes. So, yes. So then we're going to move over to here. And this page really is just sort of going through some of the signs and also some of the dates. So we have Mars in retrograde at the moment, in the sign of Cancer, and it'll be in that sign until January to February. It is very, the sun in opposition to Mars. There's a huge tension there. Mars in retrograde, which means retrograde is mean going backwards. It's a slow grind, so everything feels sticky. Everything feels like, oh God, but it will change. So that, Mars starting going stationary direct will be sort of at February time. these are some of the dates for the Pluto Aquarius. I'll leave you with that one. You can have a look. Some really sort of auspicious days. Yeah, so January the 21st, we can start looking, are we happy with our world? So these are just points where the sun goes into these particular signs or squares it, or the planets become aligned with another planet. So the sun squares in Scorpio. What I'm projecting, what am I projecting on the other side? You know, so it's very much about me against the world. You know, again, we got this illusion. We feel that everything's against us. So these dates, just be aware of them and realize no one's against you. You can turn it around. And then, as I said, the sun square in Scorpio on October 25th is a resolution. So we've got to come to resolve there. But I think the whole year will be very much about, oh, right, okay, I need to look at one again. And remember, as I said, about all these, you know, these themes of Neptune. So there's a lot of illusion going on, but in a good way sometimes. So in March, we have Venus going retrograde in the sign of Aries. And Aries is ruled by Mars. So again, it's very feisty. So March the 1st to April the 12th. And again, the theme is the storm, the deception not clear. So we're sort of seeing things unfold and we're not really unsure about it. So Venus, you know, is love. Mars is about fighting. So relationships could be a bit sticky there. But, you know, again, it's down to us to shift the energy around that one. In spring, we have the moon in for Venus. March the 29th, we have the sun in Aries, releasing energy to everyone. It's really great for the fire signs. So Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini and Aries. It's all coming together then. So that's a good time. Remember March the 29th. But it's a challenge for for Capricorn. For Cancer, Libra and Capricorn. Again, it's just releasing energy. So all this year is about just things are changing. So try not to be attached to too much of an outcome. Just like realize that in each moment, everything's working for your greater good. So we have an eclipse in the autumn eclipse, which is the moon in Pisces on the September. And as you know, the eclipses are times of great change. So just put that one in your diary. And then we have the solar eclipse in Virgo, and that's all about endings. So these are about beginnings. What am I setting up? What am I unraveling? And then for Pisces, in Virgo, the time's up. We've got to do it. Pisces can sort of be a bit like, oh, okay, Magnon, I might do that again tomorrow. These are all the sextiles. So these are planets which are all conjuncting. I won't go too much in that because you can get far away on that one. And these are all the retrogrades up here. So if you want to take note of those. So we're moving fully into this energy by 2032. So we've got Neptune moving into Aries in 2026. We've got Saturn moving into Aries in 2026. And we've got Uranus moving into Gemini. So it's really the energy is just starting. So this year is about change, but 2026 we'll see more of it. So those are the pages. And then I've just got one more page to show you. And then we'll wrap this one up. So this is... again, just some other themes that I was quite interested on. So let's just see if I can put that to flat. So interesting enough, and someone pointed this out, it is a 9-year numerology wise. So it's all about completions, beginnings. So we're transitioning from the old to the new, energetically wise as well. In the Chinese New Year, it's a wood snake. Related to Scorpio, and Scorpio obviously is the ruler of Pluto. And I think one of the questions is especially with all this AI stuff coming in, is what does it mean to be human? And we can sit there with that one. It's going to be fast moving. So really the first half of the year is going to be, it's going to be sort of plodding along because we're still in some water and earth signs. But then we get out of that, and in July, November, we really start to move. So, yeah, so water signs from March to April, and a bit in October. The fire will be the energy, the earth. We've got, when we're moving into here, July, November, we've only got a little bit of water in March and April. Then it goes a lot, can't get my words out here, a lot into fire and air. And there's not much earth going on. So we really, if we've got signs, lots of fire and air signs in our chart, it would be really good to be aware of that as the second half of the year, because we can feel a bit like ungrounded. So it's really important to ground, go outside, bare feet on the ground, hug a tree, do all those things that everybody talks about. And yeah, can we feel so because Uranus is going into Gemini, can feel a bit jazzed up, a bit whoa, let's go. So there's a lot of mental process going on there. Can feel a bit overwhelming. But your state of being is the most important. So at every moment is like, where am I putting my energy? Where am I putting my thoughts? What am I constructing? Every thought is a chance to create something. So be very mindful about where you're putting your thoughts and your words. And these are all the cardinal signs, and cardinal signs really can get things going. So if you've got Cancer, Libra and Capricorn, you can feel activated on the 30th of the 3rd till right the way around until 2026. And these are great positions of leadership, pioneer, visionary, very loving. Yeah, very loving. So this is where you can start to, the cardinal signs really about things about shifting, getting things going. So if you've got signs in that, or your birth sign or your rising sign, or even in your first house, you're going to get things going. So this is a time for you to really step up to the mark. I think it's a time, as I said before, in my opening bit here, I think, and I know, it is a time for everybody to start to step up to their own individual power. So I hope that made sense. It makes sense to me, but that's because I write it down and I sort of study it. But you know, take some notes of those dates, write them in your diary, and just ponder on it. But realise that yes, everything is changing. It's going to be a bit more pacey, but really, it's a great year for us that are into bonding in communities, working on community projects, farming projects, growing projects, bringing people together, getting people to really tap into their uniqueness. So I feel very optimistic about 2025. I think it's going to be an amazing year. So I hope that makes sense. And yeah, look forward to your comments.